Let me also urge them to continue to support our efforts in developing the Niger Basin.
President Buhari advocates increased global action on development of Niger Basin area.
This program will bridge the gap between the skills and capabilities of recent graduates.
New national program on skills enhancement to benefit thousands of young Nigerians.
Nigeria is not a failed state and will not be a failed state.
Information Minister Lai Mohammed condemns assertion on Nigeria by US-based group, describes statement as opinions of private entities and not of the United States.
Retirement is only on voluntary basis for senior officers.
Plus, Army clears the air on rumored mass retirement. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja. Adiola Komiakeri is in Lagos, while Jenny Bassi joins me from Port Harcourt. President Muhammadu Buhari has called for global support towards an accelerated development of resources in the Niger Basin area. He emphasized that the move becomes more imperative in view of the fact that 160 million people depend on the river as a means of sustenance. The president was declaring open the 12th summit of heads of state and government of the Niger Basin Authority. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
The 12th summit of the heads of state and government of the Niger Basin Authority was convened to, amongst others, review and adopt the report of the extraordinary session of the Council of Ministers, appoint new chairman as well as executive secretary of the NBA. President Muhammadu Buhari, who is the outgoing chairman, said the Niger River, commonly called Joliba, in Guinea and Mali, offers enormous development opportunities in the fields of agriculture, animal husbandry, fish farming, hydropower, and navigation.
It is therefore necessary to continue to promote its enormous potential for the benefit of our people and to improve the socio-economic development of the region.
The Nigerian leader expressed appreciation to technical and financial partners, including the African Development Bank, the Global Environment Fund, and the German Financial Cooperation for identifying with the vision and projects of the authority.
Let me also urge them to continue to support our efforts in developing the Niger Basin in the fight against pollution and the degradation of ecosystems in order to manage the resources of the Niger Basin in a sustainable and equitable manner.
President Buhari used the opportunity to give account of his 5-year stewardship, piloting the affairs of the institution, saying out of the several decisions taken at the summit, only the one on funding the operational plan of the authority 2016 to 2024 that is yet to be fully implemented. He listed other ongoing programs to include the integrated development and adaptation to climate change in the Niger Basin towards improving the resilience.
It should be noted to our collective delight that these achievements were only possible with your active support.
The chairman, NBA Council of Ministers and Nigeria's Water Resources Minister, Suleiman Adamu, said the authority has the mandate of, amongst others, managing the Niger Basin ecosystem, enhancing the development of the basin's shared resources in an equitable manner, and avoiding transboundary water resources conflict for the betterment of the populace.
I'm confident that the decisions reached at this summit will further actualize the dreams of our founding fathers and improve the socio-economic development of our region.
Several heads of state and government of the Niger Basin Authority member nations participated in the virtual summit. From the State House, Adamu Sambo.
Niger Basin Authority has ended with the appointment of President Mark Christian Kabore of Burkina Faso as new chairman. This is contained. Council of Ministers of the Authority and Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, read the communique.
Following the review of the report of the Council of Ministers, the heads of state and government took decisions on the following: 1. The construction of the NBA headquarters. 2. The implementation of the operational plan. And they nominated His Excellency Mohamed Bazoum, the President of the Republic of Niger, to conduct advocacy with his peers for the payment of their share for the construction of the NBA headquarters.
The new chairman of the authority and president of Burkina Faso, Christian Kabore, is taking over from President Buhari for a period of 2 years. The appointment of the new executive secretary was, however, deferred for another session to be convened by the new chairman. President Buhari congratulated President Kabore on his appointment, which he described as a demonstration of utmost confidence in his ability by member states.
The 12th summit is a significant milestone in the implementation of our mandate to strengthen the effectiveness and efficiency of the authority. I want to congratulate all of us for a job well done and call on this we took today.
Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State has been speaking about the reasons for his defection from the PDP to the governing APC, describing President Muhammadu Buhari's sincere commitment to Nigeria as the major attraction. Governor Ayade stated this while at a media briefing after an audience with the President. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports that the Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello also came calling
Buhari to Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State. This is their first formal engagement since the governor's defection to the governing APC. Details of their discussions held behind closed doors were not disclosed. Governor Ayade, however, told newsmen shortly after that President Muhammad
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government is resolute in its determination to make the needed difference and rebuild the confidence of young Nigerians. The Vice President said this when announcing a new graduate skill enhancement program tagged Nigeria Jubilee Fellows in Abuja. State House
by the Office of the Vice President and the United Nations is the latest in a long line of large-scale efforts and initiatives by the Buhari administration to comprehensively address the youth unemployment challenge in Nigeria. The quality of implementation, as Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says, will be the key to the success of the program.
So I believe that this program will bridge the gap between the skills and capabilities of recent graduates and the human resource demands of the labor market, connecting graduates with opportunities to earn as they learn and to gain required experience. I urge the private sector leaders who are present here and captains of industry and our development partners and the diplomatic community to support this program aimed at equipping young Nigerians with skills and experience required for the workplace of the 21st century.
The great talent of Nigerian youths has not been well harnessed, says Mohammed Yahya, resident representative of United Nations Development Program, which he says calls for the need to provide them with skills and get linked up with industry where they are needed.
COVID-19 has disrupted the way work is done and the manner in which we access jobs, and most importantly, skill sets required to survive the new normal of the labor market. The Jubilee Fellows program addresses these challenges by building a pipeline of talent that is future-ready. Through the program, young Nigerians will access skills that will help them navigate an evolving job market. By creating channels between graduates and companies, the program will identify the emerging skills that the companies need while equipping graduates to make impactful.
President Muhammad Buhari is scheduled to launch the takeoff of the program in a few weeks' time. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And returning to Governor Ayade's visit to the State House, and wherein he spoke about his reasons for defecting from the PDP to the governing APC. Let's return to Adamu Sambu for more on that report, as well as the visit of Governor Yahya Bello of Kogi State to the President.
I
Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome in 2 ways. Welcome to
A warm welcome by President Muhammadu Buhari to Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State. This is their first formal engagement since the governor's defection to the governing APC. Details of their discussions held behind closed doors were not disclosed. Governor Ayade, however, told newsmen shortly after that President Muhammadu Buhari is the reason for his decision to abandon the party that brought him to power.
I have watched him and have related closely with him. I have traveled with him overseas severally, and I find honesty, integrity, character, decency in him. And I see his wish and commitment to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So to that extent, I have a leader that I trust. Moving to the center and supporting the president is to reduce the threat to the national unity that we have. If Nigeria fails, Africa will fail.
The governor condemned in strong terms the way and manner members of the opposition parties in Nigeria rejoice over the challenges bedeviling the country, describing it as bad politics.
You rejoice over the bloodbath in your country. You rejoice over the level of insurgency and killings in your country just because you are playing opposition. And the cascading downstream effect is that your country will become ungovernable over a course of time. And you might have a civil war. You might have a civil strife that will be beyond the carrying capacity of the state. And once that happens, you have no guarantee that the next bomb or the next attack will not be you or me. So what do we need to do to lower that temperature? We need to come together and support Mr. President to bring value and create a prosperity agenda for Nigeria. And the ruling party is saying, my doors are open.
Governor Yahya Bello of Kogi State was also granted audience by the president, where issues of security as well as economic development in respect of the confluent state were discussed.
I use the opportunity to appreciate Mr. President for what he has been doing for us in this country, in keeping us together and ensuring that Nigeria remain united. And I equally assure Mr. President of our own continued support and effort in making sure that Kogi State, being the gateway between the north and south, will continue to hold forth and ensure that the center holds. Mr. President is very pleased with our achievement and successes so far in Kogi State, and he urged me and the rest of us to do more.
Governor Yahya Bello used the opportunity to assure those urging him to run for the presidency that he will give them what he called a resounding response when the time comes. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the declaration of Nigeria as a failed state by the US-based organization Council on Foreign Relations is an individual's opinion and not that of the US government. The minister stated this during an interactive session with members of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture Press Corps. Anthony Forson reports.
The declaration of Nigeria as a failed state by the Council on Foreign Relations, a United States-based organization in the words of the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, is the shared opinion of two people.
The facts on ground do not point to Nigeria as being a failed state. So yes, we have security challenges, which we are trying very hard to contain. Is there any country in the world that does not have its own security challenges? Absolutely. Look, I want to make it clear once again, Nigeria is not a failed state and will not be a failed state.
Lai Mohammed pointed out that even though the Council on Foreign Relations is a prominent US-based policy think tank, it cannot lord its opinion on nations.
As important and as powerful and influential as the Council on Foreign Relations, which Mr. John Campbell, on which he serves, or the World Peace Foundation, which Mr. Robert Rothbard, was President Emeritus, that is their own personal opinion. It's their personal opinions. It's neither the opinion of the US government or any other person.
The minister recalled that this is not the first time Nigeria is being called a failed state or a state about to fail with specific deadline. Therefore, Nigerians should disregard such negative predictions about Nigeria. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Time to take a break for some messages. The news returns in just a moment.
The brightest stars, they burn with more passion. See that? Shooting star. Impressive, but no legs. Now that star is called Sirius. When I was a kid, I was inspired by that star. Like Sirius, I wanted to shine brighter. I wanted to stand out. That's a champion star, right? And it warms my heart to know that right now, that same star shines over a new generation of Nigerians, passionate about their dreams. Shine, my people, shine. Speaking of champions, the word Sirius is green. It means to glow. Coincidence? No way. Glow? A halo.
The Federal Ministry of Information and Culture cordially invites the general public to our town hall meeting with the theme Addressing Destruction of Public Infrastructure. This event is scheduled to hold on Monday, June 7, 2021 at the Nigerian Air Force Conference Center, NAV, along Banex Jabi Road, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. This event will be covered live on the network services of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, and other media outfits. It will also be live streamed on social media, courtesy of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Guests expected at the event are the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, the Honorable Minister of Transportation, the Honorable Minister of Aviation, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, among others. Meeting will be in compliance with COVID-19 protocols.
Trust the Center Fresh Liquid Field Gum to refresh your confidence instantly. Center Fresh Liquid Field Gum. Trust the freshness.
Here is a very tough guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel makes treating malaria easy.
Daddy, when I had malaria in school, they gave me Amatem Soft Gel. It's soft and easy to swallow.
Amatem Soft Gel is a game changer.
The opponent is down only in round one.
Amatem for Soft Gel are good to combat malaria for body.
Available for adults and children. Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
The Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria invites the general public to a two-day symposium. The recent development in the country, as widely reported in the mainstream media and the social media, clearly point to a deliberate attempt to upset the delicate harmony that exists between the ethnic groups of our dear country. Cumulative trends of these events have already created an atmosphere of distrust, fear, and tension in the country, thereby threatening the foundational basis of our coexistence as a nation. This symposium is in order to take stock of these developments in the light of the teachings of Islam and chart a way forward as a united Ummah. Venue, the International Conference Center, Abuja. Date, Friday, 4th June 2021. Time, 10 a.m. The event will be covered live on the network services of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN. Announcer, Nafiu Baba Ahmad, Secretary General, Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria.
Nigerians, welcome to the decade of gas development 2021 to 2030. On 1st December 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari launched the National Gas Expansion Program, a strategic solution to address energy challenges. It guarantees job creation, revenue generation, and ensure energy security for industrialization. Nigerians, it is time to fully tap into the nation's national gas with proven reserve of 203 trillion cubic feet. Nigeria national gas story is changing from flaring to fortune. So far, $10 billion Train 7 gas expansion deal has been closed. Gas Transportation Network Code is in operation. While gas flare commercialization program, Ajakuta Kaduna Kano, AKK gas pipeline, Auto Gas, capacity building, the integrated gas handling facility, Oredu, Edo State, and many more initiatives are ongoing. Gas will be available and affordable. The Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Praise Silva, is leading his team, the GMD, NMPC, Executive Secretary, NCDMB, and other heads of agencies to deliver on this mandate. And coming soon, the launch of micro-distribution centers across 774 local governments areas and conversion of cars to dual fuel usage. Nigeria Go Gas, unlocking the economy to boom again.
Thanks for staying with us. The House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence says suggestions articulated by stakeholders at the Summit on National Security were phenomenal and that work on the various presentations is on course for consideration and onward submission to the President. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The week-long summit organized by the House Special Committee on National Security was a platform of discourse with key stakeholders to x-ray and profile solutions to the multi-dimensional security challenge in the country. It was no surprise, therefore, that over 1,000 inputs were received. The Chairman House Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Representative Shaban Sharada, says the summit, which came on the heels of the tragic death of a Chief of Army Staff and others in a plane crash, is in honor of their memory.
We have engaged in a vigorous exchange of ideas and implementation of the updated House legislative agenda, with a particular intention of developing solutions to the serious security challenges in Nigeria.
He reassured Nigerians that the House remains committed to the joint task of securing the nation. Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Defense Headquarters has cleared the air on alleged pending mass retirement of senior military officers sequel to the recent appointment of Major General Farouk Yahya of Corps 37 as the Chief of Army Staff. The Acting Director Defense Information, Brigadier General Bernard Onyuko, made the clarification at a news conference on periodic operational update on ongoing armed forces operations across the country.
Retirement is only on voluntary basis for senior officers who desire to do so. At this point in time, no retirement has been authorized by the Military High Command.
In another development, the Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje was at the Defense Headquarters to show solidarity with the military for its operations in the state and appealed for further actions within the Falgore forest that he says continues to harbor criminals.
The situation in Kano and look for further synergy with the security operatives in Kano so that we keep Kano in peace and safe.
Governor Ganduje also condoled with the armed forces over the death of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Attahiru, and others. Staying with the military, the Nigerian Army troops and the air component of Operation Hadinkai have inflicted heavy casualty on Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP terrorists who launched a futile attack on Damboa local government area of Borno State. A statement by the Director Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Muhammad Yarima, says the troops successfully defeated the invaders, destroyed their locally fabricated armored-plated vehicles, and killed over 50 ISWAP terrorists, even as the Nigerian Air Force intensified attack from the air forcing the rest to disintegrate in disarray. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahya, congratulated the troops, including the air component, for this great achievement. Aside the frequent cases of boat mishaps in the nation's inland waterways, maritime crime is another area of worry, and the Nigeria police says it is rising up to the occasion by deploying maritime police to ensure safer passage for watercraft and passengers. Francis Form reports that a meeting between the acting IGP and the leadership of the National Inland Waterways also agreed to ensure that passengers are kitted with personal flotation devices before boarding.
High traffic on the road. The roads are overstretched. The ports are congested. But the waterways, the next option, is not safe.
What if our waterways are all year-round navigable, channels are open? What that means is that we'll remove 2 million trailers from the road. And we now save our road infrastructure, we reduce the pressure and make cargo movement a lot cheaper.
Sea pirates turn passengers on the waterways their praise. NEWA seeks for solution. Police willing to help. Maritime crime will be gradually wiped out on the water surfaces.
We will synergize, collaborate, and work with you. And we will support you in driving whatever things you want to do to improve what you have made in that place.
Partnership expected to deliver economic prosperity in inland waterways subsector. Francis from NTA News.
And Nigerians have continued to express a desire for the amendment of the nation's constitution to meet current realities and the collective aspirations of the people. These views are reflected at the national public hearings organized by the Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution. John Yaku has details.
The public hearing on the review of the Constitution is seeking the fifth alteration of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Top on the 16-point agenda at the hearing are gender equality, fiscal federalism, residency and indigenship, states and local governments creation, state police, and the role of traditional rulers in governance, among others.
They cannot disarm traditional rulers and expect them to perform.
Traditional rulers in Nigeria are very close to the people, and we are supposed to understand their feelings and their aspirations.
It is important that the Constitution is reviewed to provide for at least 35% women representation in appointive offices.
A lone voice, however, called for amendments that will make the necessary alteration to allow for a complete change of the Constitution.
If we change a brand new Constitution, will it change Nigerians? Will it bring totally new population in Nigeria? No, it is still the same people that will operate it. And so what I think is that we should be talking about change of attitude.
President of the Senate and Chairman Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution thanked Nigerians for their turnout both at the zonal and national public hearings, promising that their views and memoranda, which reflect the will of Nigeria, will be upheld.
While we have identified certain items as thematic areas, we are still open to engagement on any other relevant proposal, and we look forward to continuing discussions with the stakeholders on all proposals in that regard.
The committee had conducted public hearings across the 6 geopolitical zones. In Abuja, John Yaku, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Senate leadership has confirmed it would accelerate the constitution review process and accommodate all submissions collated from its public hearings held at the zones. Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omoagege, gave the assurance earlier today while speaking with NTA on the pace of the ongoing constitution review.
I understand the national public hearing is holding between today and tomorrow.
Absolutely. Actually, we began the zonal hearings on Wednesday and Thursday of last week, that's 26th and 27th of last month. We decided to begin at the zonal level to gauge the feelings, to receive the inputs of people at the states, the grassroots,
We've succeeded in doing that. We did that for 2 days all across the country. We've now determined to conclude the exercise here at the national level. We started today and we'll be concluding tomorrow.
How responsive will you say the memoranda you've received have been?
Actually, it's been overwhelming, beginning at the zonal level. Frankly, we had difficulty actually entertaining all of the requests and the responses. The memoranda submitted by the stakeholders. The areas we've zeroed in on this time are so many to accommodate the views of so many who are agitating, for almost a brand new constitution.
In view of the security challenge that we have nationwide, what would you say it's been the body language where the issue of police and community policing is concerned?
Not only am I a presiding officer of the Senate, I'm also the chairman of this committee, so I do not have a position, on any of these issues yet. At least until we get to plenary when the votes will be taken.
Okay.
But I can tell you for free that in all of the centers, there's the case has been made, memoranda has been submitted for and against.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, each of us will have only one vote to cast. It's about votes. That's what it all comes down to. And we expect that everyone should go back home. We as senators will represent people. Those who want me to cast a vote in favor of that, they should reach out to me from my constituency, just like they should be reaching out to everyone else.
Let's now link up with Adeola Komiakere in Lagos for more reports. Adeola.
Thank you, Cyril. Now, more contributions and submission of memoranda on states creation, local government autonomy, and call for new constitution dominated proceedings as the constitutional review public hearing organized by the House of Representatives ended in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
Although the attendance on the last day of the public hearing on constitutional review was few, more presentations and submissions were made by participants at the gathering. Position papers were presented by organizations and individuals seeking creation of local governments and issues surrounding local government autonomy.
We need to transit from the level of potentiality to reality, and we can only achieve this through a new constitution for this country.
Section 86, which requires local government when they are created to be taken to Abuja for confirmation, should be removed.
Other issues presented border on the need to repeal the Land Use Act, removal of the immunity clause to make erring political office holders accountable, political reforms to encourage youth participation in politics, gender-based concerns, and Child Rights Act.
The Land Use Act has been 43 years old. Now, if it is not taken out of the Constitution, the method of amendment will be very, very difficult.
You have already enacted the Child Rights Act, but we are going to appeal that this law should be amended to make it applicable all over the country.
We want devolution of power. Give power back to the state.
If you have many women in governance, definitely it's going to, help the economy to move on.
We have all their documents they've submitted, which we are going to take back home. And of course, we are going to make sure that we capture everything.
Papers were presented by professional bodies, socio-cultural groups, traders associations, and faith-based organizations. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Now, the alleged threat to invade a labor market by an anonymous voice note circulating on social media has caused restlessness among traders of the electronics market. Leaving nothing to chance, the Lagos State Police Command and the leadership of the market met in Lagos to dialogue towards securing the sport. Lynn Leneke has the details.
In this hall are merchandise of various kinds of products ranging from auto spare parts, electronics and phones, among others, drawn from markets across the metropolis. The meeting is on the instance of a voice note that went viral threatening Alaba International Market traders, resulting from the insecurities being experienced in some parts of the country. In allaying their fears, Lagos State Commissioner of Police Hakeem Odumosu described the alleged threat as fake alarm, capable of inciting the populace and destroying the unity of the state.
So many times we had that on the social media, and we have through technology gotten the people that are giving all this out arrested, prosecuted. The same thing on this one, and not only police, security agencies were synergy on this.
The interactive session dwells largely on fostering security and unity of the country, with a call to all and sundry to eschew all forms of violence.
You cannot have that type of message and hide it for the security purpose. And as we are coming here today, we have more assurance from the Commissioner of Police that they are there with us, that anytime that we call them, they will answer us.
Today we have learned how to differentiate the visitors from strangers. So we will keep our eyes open. I'm going to tell my people that security is not only for police, but everybody's affairs.
The Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu, hinted that the command will embark on a show of force to send warning to perpetrators of unrest while tackling any form of insecurity in the state. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
The news will continue after this timeout. Please stay with us.
10. Fun is 10. Smart is 10. Elegance is 10. Fast is 10. My experience is 10. Redmi Note 10 Pro. Challenge the boundaries. Get the Redmi Note 10 Pro, built with a 108 megapixel camera, 120 Hz AMOLED display, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G, as well as 33 watts fast charge. Redmi Note 10 Pro, powered by Xiaomi.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam. The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow!
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Born Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc, and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Born Vita, strength to dream.
He's falling sick so frequently, either fever or stomachache. I keep him away from junk food.
She also feeds me apples. She says an apple a day keeps...
If you want to keep germs away, then also wash your hands regularly with Dettol soap.
Meaning?
Germs and disease spread through the hand also. For this, use Dettol soap. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
Revision classes on television for students in secondary schools in English and mathematics will commence on the NTA. The revision classes will transmit Mondays to Fridays from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on the network service of the NTA. This is organized in preparation for the various national examinations and orders. This is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Education.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
We're back in Abuja. Benny and Business begins right now. Benny?
Thank you, Cyril, and welcome to Business. The federal government has assured United Kingdom companies operating in Nigeria of its support in ensuring that they thrive even in the face of dwindling foreign exchange earnings, promising to continue creating the enabling environment for them to carry out their businesses unhindered. This is coming on the heels of requests for more foreign exchange for companies to pay their lenders, maintain machines, and continue in business. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Adeni Adebayo and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, had an interactive session with UK business team in Abuja on Thursday, noted that the government was doing everything to ensure investors in the Nigerian economy get the necessary support to grow their companies. Adebayo noted that the growth of these companies would mean more money for the government to build more infrastructure and also create jobs for the teeming Nigerian youth.
It is my belief that a continuous collaboration of this type between the Central Bank of Nigeria and my ministry will bring about tremendous changes in the Nigerian business environment that will impact positively on the economy of our great nation.
And on the capital market, investors gained 34.25 billion naira as NGX all-share index inches up by 0.17%, maintains positive posture. Equities closed at 38,548.24 basis points, as against 0.18% appreciation recorded previously. Market breadth closed positive, as UPL led 19 gainers, as against 16 losers, topped by CWG, just as market turnover closed positive. Sovereigns, Zenith Bank and FCMB were the most active to boost market turnover, while Zenith Bank and Stanbic topped market value this. Well, that is business news. Cyril, it's over to you.
Thank you, Benny. The Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Haniri, says significant reduction in the number of coronavirus cases notwithstanding, Nigerians should not jettison adherence to stipulated non-pharmaceutical interventions put in place against the pandemic. The minister gave the advice at the weekly ministerial press briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
Invited to the briefing for the second time in 3 months, the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ihanere, was emphatic that Nigeria is not yet out of the woods as far as the global pandemic is concerned. He said all the measures needed towards keeping the country and her citizens safe will continue.
Even what is happening in India is an example of what we want to avoid. We want to be proactive, we want to be preemptive. Preemptive means that you want to do everything you can to make sure that it doesn't get here. And if it gets here, everything you can to halt it at any level, that rudimentary level, so that it doesn't threaten citizens.
Dr. Osage Ihanere also spoke on efforts at acquiring more COVID-19 vaccines for the country.
The access to vaccine has been very limited because there are countries that give us the vaccines, but who at the moment have only promised to deliver many months from now. They want to take care of their own needs first, their own citizens and their immediate environment. COVAX wants to give us enough vaccines to vaccinate 20% of our population. But we have the target of vaccinating 70%. We think it is good to have our own capability to produce vaccines, perhaps under license.
Meanwhile, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has announced the resolve by the federal government to effectively collaborate with religious and traditional leaders towards convincing more citizens to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
These are from lessons that we've learned, that it is only when there's community ownership that people will accept vaccines. These vaccines are safe, they are well tested, and they are effective.
We are not out of the woods from this particular outbreak. So we have to keep pushing to make sure that we sustain the small gains that we've had and make sure we're prepared for the future.
At the briefing, the health experts, however, confirmed that there have been mild cases of side effects from those who have taken the COVID-19 vaccine. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Wike inaugurates quarters for judges of National Industrial Court. This comes from Port Harcourt with Jenny Bassi presenting. Jenny.
Thank you, Cyril. Good evening and welcome. The Chief Judge of Nigeria, Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, has described Governor Nyesom Wike as a shining example of political leaders who have the interest and welfare of the Nigerian judiciary at heart, both in words and action. Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, represented by Justice Mary Odili, was speaking during the inauguration of the National Industrial Court Judges' Quarters constructed by the Rivers State government. Ogedin Yekwere reports.
The inauguration of the state-of-the-art residential quarters for judges of the National Industrial Court in Rivers State is one of the many interventions by the Rivers State government for the federal judicial institutions to enhance the administration of justice in the state. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, represented by Justice Mary Odile, and the President, National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Justice Benedict Kanyem, noted that Governor Wike has remained a strong voice in the clamor for judicial independence.
Well, sorry, we have to discontinue that link with the Port Harcourt studios. Moving on with the rest of the news, for Nigeria to speedily win the war against all forms of insecurity, there must be a strong synergy between security agencies and the media. This is one of the outcomes of the 74th General Assembly of the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, which took place in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Nigeria is currently facing security challenges in all fronts, taking their rightful place as members of the fourth estate of the realm. These media chief executives chose to deliberate on insecurity and the way forward. Regulators harp on the need for professionals to always take into cognizance the ethical values of the pen profession and operating within the broadcasting code.
Talk about the very different segmented issues that aggregate to build national development so that you create safety valves in terms of social opportunities, economic opportunities, political opportunities.
Keynote speech of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, was delivered by Rear Admiral Okon Edet Ayo.
Government and stakeholders must take advantage of the agenda setting and knowledge transmission function of the media for an enhanced information and national security architecture for Nigeria.
Chairperson of the organization, Sir Ibrahim, said unity and progress of the nation is paramount to the association.
Sometimes we are accused of not giving the general public adequate information, but there are some information that they are not meant to be for public consumption. You weigh them, you weigh the consequences of such information.
NTA, as a electronic media organization, is out specifically to build the nation. You can never find NTA carrying out distorted or misleading information that will scatter the country.
Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria is the umbrella body for all broadcast outfits in the country. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
After recording a resounding success in the provision of online learning during the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, Data Science Nigeria, Malaysia and MasterCard Foundation have rolled out another learning platform which puts equal learning and education opportunities in rural and urban communities on the table. The initiative, which allows users to log on to www.learnathome.radio, is set to reach more than 100 million students across the country. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
www.learnathome.radio is a platform packed with learning tools and aids that prepares students from primary 4 to SS3 in rural and urban communities to learn and succeed in examinations. The barriers of access to internet and cost of data totally eliminated here using a simple Edge or 2G phone to join audio classes while learning at individual pace from higher quality teachers and SMS of learning materials in line with the NERDC curriculum.
You just need to go to www.learnathome.radio, and the amazing thing is that if you're on MTN network, it's actually free to browse. Apart from the fact that the platform is free, it's free learning, it's free education. You can go on the platform, you can learn for free.
More than 4 million students are already on the platform with convincing testimonies.
My best subject on the platform is economics. The teachers have made it so easy and broken it down to the level that I can understand fully well.
My experience with Learn at Home has been very, very fantabulous. I learned a lot of new things.
Apart from availability of past solved question papers of examination bodies like WAEC, NACO, BECE, and Common Entrance Examination, the site is free for MTN subscribers.
We have a collection of past questions from as early as 2009 to 2020. Our teachers have taken time to take each question one after the other and provided a detailed explanation for the questions.
The bodies driving the initiative say it is first of its kind, with unlimited access riding on the national mobile phone penetration. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
The media is again being put on notice to perform its responsibility as the watchdog of the society in a manner that promotes transparency and accountability in governance rather than engender anarchy, division and disintegration of the country. Kenneth Nanim reports that the need for objective reportage as a tool for combating the current spate of insecurity and other challenges being faced by the country was prioritized at an event to mark the 10th anniversary of Blueprint newspaper, one of Nigeria's leading dailies.
These headlines speak for the Blueprint newspaper as a new generation media contributing to nation building. The proprietor, Mohammed Idris, is here. He tells the story on the roadmap charted on truthful journalism.
We have practiced professional journalism, tightly mined our guests, contributed to useful conversations towards a more democratic and egalitarian society.
President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, expressed faith in the unity of the country and urged the media to step up action through objective reportage towards solving Nigeria's socio-economic challenges.
Our founding fathers were first to acknowledge our diversity. It is against this backdrop that I will challenge the media to affirm their faith in Nigeria and dedicate themselves to their role as the fourth extent of the realm.
On the theme, which is technological innovation as antidote to election rigging, the representative of the INEC chairman, Chidwafo, explained that INEC is set for online registration of voters and deployment of ICT.
Technology is evolving and is therefore it's important to move with the trend.
In recognition of meritorious service by public office holders, former President Goodluck Jonathan was awarded Icon of Democracy in Africa, and some governors across the country in various capacities.
The habit of making sure that carnage on our roads are reduced is being appreciated by all and suddenly.
The event also established the fact that the eyes of the public are on public officers, either for reprimand or for a pat at the back for a job well done. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Sports now with Tamara Ibiwe.
Thank you, Cyril. Welcome to Sports Update. I am Tamara.